Good morning, and welcome to the Unitarian Universalist Congregation of York. My name's Craig Zumbrun, and I've played a number of roles in the congregation, including the choir. Not the drum choir, though, regrettably. My pronouns are he, him. Before we enter into our worship time together, there are a few announcements we want to share about our community here at UUCY. If you've come to UUCY today with children, we're delighted to have you. After our new member ceremony this morning, we will sing our children and youth out so they can gather downstairs with our teachers for religious education classes. Our nursery is always available for children under the age of 4. You may have noticed some changes in the back of our order of service. There are some important announcements listed there. Please take a moment to look at them. There's one misprint that I'd like to call your attention to, and that is today our guest violinist is Anna Hallett Gutierrez, coming to us today from Virginia. Also, you may notice the rescheduled OWL class for adults, which will be next Saturday, the 19th, at 10 o'clock in the Carriage House. For a full list of announcements, information for newcomers, or for details about our beliefs and values, scan the QR code with your phone. If you've never scanned a QR code before, don't hesitate to ask for help. We're all pretty helpful around here. Now that we've addressed the business, let's begin to turn our attention to worship. Whoever you are, whoever you love, we are delighted that your faith journey has brought you here with us today. The mission of this congregation is to nurture a loving community, inspire lifelong spiritual and personal growth, and act for a better world. We welcome all of you joining us in person or online today. If you're joining us for the first time, we invite you to visit with our welcome desk in the lobby to fill out a visitor card and or send us an email to visitor@uucy.org so that we might get to know you better. Let us now mark this time made sacred by our presence by taking a collective breath. Again, welcome to UUCY.
In the words of Carl Seberg, let there be joy in our coming together this morning. Let there be truth heard in the words that we speak and the songs we sing. Let there be help and healing for our disharmony and despair. Let there be silence for the voice within us and beyond us. Let there be joy in our coming together this morning. Welcome.
As we light our chalice this morning in the sanctuary, a symbol of our living tradition, those joining us remotely are also invited to light a candle or a chalice of their own. I offer words entitled Deep Calls Unto Deep, Joy Calls Unto Joy by Gordon B. McKeeman. Deep calls unto deep, joy calls unto joy, light calls unto light. Let the kindling of this flame rekindle in us the inner light of love, of peace, of hope. And as one flame lights another, we pledge ourselves to be bearers of the light wherever we are.
Please rise and body or in spirit to join in singing Surprised by Joy, number 410 in your gray hymnals. Thank you. Today is an exciting day of celebration as we dedicate time in our worship service to recognize new members of UUCY. So I'd like to invite our membership co-chair, Marta Smith, and all of the new members of UUCY to come forward for a brief ceremony. And as they come forward, I will read all 18 of their names. We have Susan Bopp, Caitlin Coretta Craig, Barry Einzig, Ann Gray, Ann Hostler, our guest pianist this morning, Naz Kling, Scott Kling, Robbie Kusnerick, Kevin Lietzel, Ron Morrow, Elizabeth Reardon, Alicia Schapp, John Schapp Jr., Carla Shelley, Michelle Shia, Chris Statz, and Marie Temple. Welcome. Is this good, Bob? Yeah, see if they can see us.
We at UUCY welcome you as new members of our community this morning. You have come to worship, play, work, and grow among us. Ours is a free congregation. We have no creeds, and you are free to bring your ideas and beliefs to this congregation to share with others. We invite you to join with us in the religious search for meaning and purpose in life, informed by our individual beliefs and the traditions of Unitarian Universalism.
I want to thank you, Marta, and your co-chair, Leslie Johnston, who's helping in the kitchen, I think, for your skilled and compassionate leadership of the membership committee. You are a big part of why people come here. Now, beloved new members of UUCY, I just want to slip through here. And just talk to you for a moment. I want to extend my enthusiastic welcome and congratulations on officially joining our community as a member. This morning, we celebrate that commitment in worship. In this gathering, we lift our voices in shared song, We bring ourselves before the holy in silence and in speech and drum. We search together for meaning and truth in life, and we share joys and sorrows of our lives with one another. Many years ago, UUCY voted through democratic process on a unified mission statement to nurture loving community, inspire lifelong spiritual and personal growth, and act for a better world. You've already shown a commitment to the mission of this congregation by considering your own spiritual journeys, by exploring how the call in your hearts asks us to act in the world, and by asking questions that we as UUs must ask ourselves and each other again and again and again. What are the deepest hopes we share? How can we align our values with our actions? How can we best treat one another? And how can we repair when relationship ruptures? In the spirit of these questions and many more that we hold in our hearts as seekers on individual paths who choose to collaborate, cooperate, and co-create in community, I have another question. Do you covenant to affirm and promote our shared UU values and the living tradition we share that draws from many sources? If you do believe so, say, I will. I will. Come on, Marta. Rainbow, get out of the way.
Today, we welcome into our community these new members, yay, who have chosen to make a commitment to this congregation by signing our membership book. We are so glad to have you here with us and that you have chosen this community of fellow seekers to travel with you on your life journeys.
Now, congregation, I have some questions for those gathered here today. Those on Zoom can even raise their hands or type an affirmation in the chat in response to these important questions. Will you welcome these new members with the warmth and comfort of your fellowship? Will you seek to add your strengths and talents to the new gifts they bring to us? Will you share our triumphs and our struggles as community grows and changes? Will you renew your own commitment to our congregation's mission and covenant along with these new members? If you feel that that is true, say, I will. I will. Will the congregation please rise in body or in spirit and read the words printed in your order of service? We welcome you as new members of the Unitarian Universalist Congregation of York. We celebrate your decision to journey with us and promise you our mutual trust and support. Let us remain standing as we sing together and dismiss our children and youth to their religious education classes downstairs. We'll sing the first 3 verses of the hymn number 100. I've got peace like a river, joy like a fountain, and love like an ocean.
Can they take their seats now?
Yeah, you can take your seat.
I've got peace.
take a deep breath in through our nose and out through our mouth. Calls are just reminders that people want to get in touch with us. That's always a good thing. Today in the Christian tradition is Palm Sunday, a time when Christians reflect on the story of Jesus riding into Jerusalem, not on a horse, as was customary of kings during the times of war, but on a humble donkey, a symbol of peace and humility. But before Jesus rode in on this donkey into Jerusalem, the expectant crowd removed their cloaks and prayer shawls, plucked palm branches from the trees, and laid them on the road before him, while others gathered more palm branches to wave in celebration. They were preparing for joy. Palm branches have long been associated with victory and triumph in ancient cultures. Greek athletes would carry palm branches as a sign of celebration and victory. Laying them down before a king was a way of showing respect and acknowledging their authority. But deeper than this cultural association is a theory that the crowd was actually reenacting a scene from a historic revolt where a new leader had marched into their citadel in Jerusalem and thrown off the oppressors. They believed that Jesus arriving that day was also a signal of a different message than that of the modern government, and that liberation might be possible. Jesus deliberately choosing to ride in on a donkey instead of a war horse dramatically set apart this story from that memory of the revolt and celebrating the overturning of an oppressor. This was a different way to address injustice without resorting to violence. He was not there to lead a revolt. Jesus' message emphasized internal peace and nonviolence, reconciliation, and a transformation of hearts that can lead to societal change. Hardly a week later, the story goes that Jesus was arrested and executed by the state. Was all of that joy and celebration for nothing? Christians would say no, it's not all for nothing. It's why we celebrate Palm Sunday year after year, not only because of their belief that in Jesus' resurrection, but also because preparing for joy, even in the face of sorrow, imminent sorrow, is a spiritual discipline, and it results in good things. As the psalmist writes, sorrow may linger for the night, but joy comes in the morning. So how do we, as Unitarian Universalists, or UUs in formation even, how do we practice preparing for joy in our own way? I offer the words of the poet Jan Richardson, who writes on joy. You can prepare, but still it will come to you by surprise. Crossing through your doorway, calling your name in greeting, it will astonish you how wide your heart will open in welcome for the joy that finds you so ready and still so unprepared. Are you ready to wave or lay down the palms for joy? Are you perhaps also finding yourself unprepared entirely for joy? Social researcher Brené Brown interviewed a man who told her, "My whole life, I never got too excited, too joyful about anything. I just stayed right in the middle. That way, if things didn't work out, I wasn't devastated. And if they did work out, it was a pleasant surprise." Brown said that this man in his 60s was in a car accident, and his wife of 40 years was killed. He said, The second I realized that she was gone, the first thing I thought was, I should have leaned harder into those moments of joy because that did not protect me from what I feel right now. Enjoy the little things. One day we may look back and realize they were the big things. We prepare for the worst instead of positioning ourselves to receive and experience and feel joy in the present. Brown says we're trying to dress rehearse tragedy so we can beat vulnerability to the punch. As someone who studies shame and scarcity and fear, Brown will tell you that the most terrifying, difficult emotion that we experience as humans is actually joy. She says when we lose our tolerance for vulnerability, joy becomes foreboding. I'm not going to feel you. I'm not going to soften into this moment because I'm scared it's going to be taken away. The other shoe is going to drop. But the problem is, she says, worrying about things that haven't happened doesn't protect us from pain. Ask anyone who has experienced a tragedy. They'll tell you there's no way to prepare. But instead, catastrophizing squanders the one thing we all want more of in life. We simply cannot know joy without embracing vulnerability. And the way we can do that is to focus on gratitude, not fear. The good news is that joy and gratitude collected over time actually fuels resilience, ensuring that we have reservoirs of emotional strength gathered in advance when hard times arrive, when bad things do happen. Gratitude begets more gratitude, and joy builds on joy. It builds up that reservoir for us to draw from like a well source with a natural resource that is abundant to all of us. So how do we begin collecting this joy? Joy is a spiritual practice of appreciating everyday moments and choosing not to live in fear of what we could lose, softening into those moments we have right now. It's not about getting rid of fear, but choosing not to allow it to reign over joy. Brown writes, "A wild heart is awake to the pain of the world, but does not diminish its own pain. A wild heart can beat with gratitude and lean into pure joy without denying the struggle in the world." Some would say gratitude is an antidote to fear and a strong and healthy root of joy. Gratitude is that emotion or state of being that comes from the awareness and appreciation of that which is valuable and meaningful to us. Gratitude in all of its forms is associated with happiness and joy. Whenever we say thank you to someone or receive the same from others, the feeling it brings up is that of pure satisfaction and encouragement. Expressions of gratitude help in building and sustaining long-term relationships, dealing with adversities and bouncing back from them with strength and motivation. Emily Fletcher, the founder of an organization called Ziva, she's a well-known meditation training site. Emily mentioned in one of her publications that gratitude is like a natural antidepressant. The effects of gratitude when practiced daily can be almost the same as medications. This is not a recommendation to change your medications, but increase your dose of gratitude. It produces a feeling of long-lasting happiness and contentment. And the physiological basis of that lies in the neurotransmitter level, up here in the brain. When we express gratitude and receive the same, our brain releases dopamine and serotonin. Those are the two crucial neurotransmitters responsible for our emotions. They make us feel good. They enhance our mood immediately, making us feel happier from the inside. Simply put, feeling gratitude literally changes our mind so we can feel more joy. It prepares a way for joy to be received and noticed. By consciously practicing gratitude every day, we can help these neural pathways to strengthen themselves, become well-worn neural pathways, and ultimately create an enduring, grateful, and positive nature within ourselves. Karen Walrond is a lawyer, leadership coach, and activist who's helped thousands of people around the world find purpose and meaning in their lives. She reflects on the common response at the end of the year when people often say, "Well, that was a crappy year. Don't let the door hit you on the way out. I can't wait for this new year." And she says she often tells people, go look in your cell phone camera reel at your archives, and I bet you'll notice that this year wasn't as bad as you thought. Because we really tend to pull out our cameras when something good has happened. We run into a friend and we're having dinner and it's nice, or we got a great latte, or we saw a beautiful flower emerging. We want to document those moments. And she says, I bet if you scroll through, you're going to find some moments that you forgot that were really great. Sometimes that cynical attitude creeps in from the pure weight of the enormity of the world's grief. How can we feel joy when others are suffering? How can we feel joy when we are suffering? But if we allow guilt and dread and negativity bias to overcome and flood that ability to feel and experience joy in all its abundance in this world, to me, it almost feels like the bad guys win. Alice Walker reminds us that resistance is the secret of joy. We are called to celebrate our joy, not to hide it away in guilt or shame. Walrond herself has a daily gratitude practice to keep her grounded in joy. She asks herself 3 questions in her daily gratitude journal. How can I feel connected? How can I feel healthy? How can I feel purposeful? For one, I think you can feel connected here at UUCY. Our welcoming rhythm this morning from our drummers, the celebration of our newest members earlier in our service, our children and youth connecting downstairs. Coffee hour is the most sacred hour of the week, and that's all about connection. Our shared UU values emphasize our interdependence, that invisible web that connects us all, and our core value of love. Collective joy and pain are sacred experiences to share, whether at sports games or rock concerts or vigils or funerals, or even during matters of the heart on Sunday mornings here. They are so deeply human that they cut through those differences and tap into our hardwired nature. We need these moments with strangers and friends as reminders that despite how much we dislike someone on Facebook or even in person, we are still inextricably connected. To feel healthy, that second question, I often turn to music medicine. Drumming is a spiritual practice of mine. It fills my body with good vibrations, and good vibes can really turn my mood around in an instant. That's why it's part of my email signature. I want to send that out into the world. Brené Brown's interviews with research participants over 12 years resulted in a lot of findings, and one of those findings was that one of the most powerful tools for collective joy and pain is music. It's often the heart of celebrations and spiritual gatherings and memorial services and protest movements. Some of you might know the gospel song originally by Shirley Caesar that goes, "This joy that I have, the world didn't give it to me. This joy that I have, the world didn't give it to me. This joy that I have, the world didn't give it to me." This is important. The world didn't give it, and the world can't take it away. It's a gospel song, a praise song, a way of worshiping that joy that seems to come from beyond, but it's also a resistance song. It's a bold claim that joy is a gift freely given to all of us, and that nothing the world tries to do can take that gift away. No one and no thing can steal our joy. Lastly, how can we feel purposeful? Well, that journey is yours and may take a lifetime. And that question is probably for a whole other sermon. But I can say I'm deeply grateful to be journeying with you. May gratitude and joy reveal purpose, keep you healthy, keep you connected, moment by moment, as you experience them over and over. May you keep turning toward celebration as a joyful act of resistance, even in the face of imminent sorrow and loss. One day at a time, one breath at a time, may you prepare the way for joy. Blessed be. May it be so. And amen. Would you please rise in body or in spirit to join together in a healthy breathing exercise of lifting our voices in song? Number 95, There is More Love Somewhere. We're going to keep on till we find it. There is more hope, more peace, more joy somewhere. Thank you.
We now invite you into generosity as we collect our weekly offering. Each week, we commit to share our offering collection with a community organization that upholds our values. Our Share the Plate partner for April is GLO Glow Harrisburg, a community resource center for queer and trans people of color in Harrisburg area. GLOW is one of the LGBT Center of Central Pennsylvania's newest initiatives. GLOW fosters inclusive communities and holistic well-being for LGBTQ+ people through social, educational, and cultural engagement. The ushers will now collect the offering. If this is your first time with us, please feel free to let the plate pass you by. Your presence is a gift. Thank you very much. Please join us in the extinguishing of our chalice and your home chalices if you have them lit with these words. We extinguish this flame, but not the light of truth, the warmth of community, or the fire of commitment. These we carry in our hearts until we are together again.
So you may or may not be ready or able or interested in starting your own gratitude practice in your life, but I have an invitation and an offering for you to take if you want. I have placed a stack of old UUCY postcards on that desk in the back where the ushers are. They have a lighthouse on them with UUCY. I think it's like an old branding effort that we're probably not going to move forward with. So I'm ready to use these up. And I thought they also have envelopes. They're blank on the back, just a little logo at the bottom. Consider taking one or a couple and write some gratitude notes to people or things or places. See what it does. See where it takes you. See what it generates in your body, in your brain, in those serotonin and dopamine systems. Just try it out if you want. They're back there for you to take and begin. I invite you to, wherever your path takes you, may you carry the good news you have heard here today with you in your heart and on your lips as a blessing to everyone that you meet. Will now please rise in body or in spirit to join in singing our sending song, which is A Place at the Table. The chorus lyrics read that God, whatever that means to you, will delight when we are creators of justice and joy, compassion and peace. So may we go creating justice, joy, compassion, and peace.